Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well. This is William here at Allegory Gallery, and I have a Gilbert in the window with me. Hi, Gilbert. Say hi, buddy. So Gilbert is here with me. I hope the window noise isn't too loud out there. Hopefully you can still hear me. If you can, if you're having trouble hearing me, they have their air conditioning on next door, so I can shut the window, but I hate to kick Gilbert out if I don't have to. Let's see who's here with me today. This is Suzanne is here. Hello. Marianne is with us. Hello, Marianne. Hello, Harry. Thank you all for tuning in. I see 3 names and I see 5 people tuning in. So if you're here and you haven't said hi, please say hi. Let us know where you're coming from. It's always good to see where people tune in from. Andrew was talking about that a little bit. I love seeing all the places people tune in from. And sometimes you make friends, right? Sometimes you find out, oh, this person's tuning in from this city right next to me or from my own city. And then you can hang out with them in person and do all that fun stuff. So that's nice. I think I'm going to have to close the window. They're starting to mow the lawn over there. I don't know how much background noise there is or not. Chris is with us. Hello, Chris. Thank you for joining in over there on Facebook. We are streaming on Facebook and YouTube. We stream to about 5 different places on Facebook, and we stream to our channel, our one channel on YouTube. So depending on where you are, you may not see all the comments that I'm talking about, but I see all the comments over here. So I will read out comments, and we like to chat with you all. Today, we are going to look at some gemstones, and we are also going to take a sneak peek of the Design Challenge Mix that's coming out for May's Design Challenge Mix. So I think that's exciting. Yesterday, Andrew showed you a few things. He showed you some of his newest paintings, and, well, at least the process of some of his newest paintings. He hasn't finished them yet. So he showed you that. He also showed you a sneak peek of the earrings that Jen is going to be, or Jen has done. Jen has filmed with me for the Saturday morning tutorial. And he also showed you the next global adventure kit, which is we're going to Turkey. So if you missed any of those, you can rewatch it. Just head back. Maybe don't do it right now, but head back over to our YouTube channel after this or our Facebook page, and you can rewatch yesterday's video. Susan says, sorry, Ryan is mowing my lawn. That's okay. Apparently nobody can hear it on the camera anyway. I think that I think the microphones on the newer phones tend to block a lot of that out, hopefully. So, but if it does get too loud, we'll just go ahead and close this window. But I'm letting Gilbert back here. I just opened that window for him. That's a new window for him lately. So he's exploring and checking out what's out there. I see Susan is with us. Thank you for joining us. Sandra has tuned in. Hello, Sandra and Diane. Thank you both for joining us here. Diane says, cannot hear the lawnmower. That's good. Suzanne says, sweet cat face. Says you have a sweet face, Gilbert. How about that? You do. He has a very sweet face. He's a very loving boy. So today, like I said, we are going to talk about gemstones. Now these gemstones, this is another batch of gemstones that we have not shown you before, but if you got a Desert Discoveries package, maybe you may have gotten some of these. So be sure that if you want to order these, that you didn't get them in Desert Discoveries, unless you want more, because there's some good stuff, some really good stuff in here. So I think you're gonna like these. I think we have 17 lots for you today. And we are getting ready. It's like fast and furious here, y'all. We are getting ready to head down to North Carolina for Fire on the Mountain, which is at Penland. And it's a big festival, a one-day festival. It's going to happen on Saturday. So we are planning to start driving down tomorrow at some point, stay overnight, wake up nice and early to get to the festival when it opens, hang out there at the festival all day. We're going to stay overnight again, I think, and then we're going to drive back home on Sunday morning. So that's the goal, maybe. We'll see. We may leave right from the festival and start heading home because I think it ends at 3 or 5. So we'll see what's going to happen there. We haven't quite decided. I guess it's probably going to really decide how tired we are and how much energy we have. So I will say this now, since most of you are repeat and nearly everyday watchers, we may not have our live tomorrow. We do have to head on the road at some point tomorrow. I don't think if we have our live at 5, we're probably going to start out too late, or we may be on the road. But I am hoping to do more of the little travelogues like Andrew did on his way to Tucson, even though we're not going quite as far and staying at quite as many places. But I am hoping that we can do some travelogues and some fun stuff along the way, maybe, and just kind of have a good time with it. So hopefully you'll tune in for that and check them out. We'll be doing probably stories and regular lives. Who knows? Who knows what else we're going to be doing? You know, we always say we want to do these things for our trips and our road trips because we go to quite interesting places and we pass by and through so many nice little towns and things. We're usually in a rush though. So I'm hoping that tomorrow we can start out a little bit early and not rush around so much. And maybe stop in a few places or get lunch. Usually we get lunch at the, you know, the kind of, what do you call them? The little plazas along the turnpike and stuff. And that's about where we grab lunch and we eat it really fast or eat it on the road. So hopefully we'll get out a little bit earlier tomorrow and just get a nice day. And then if we stay into Sunday, we'll get a nice drive back. And we'll be able to stop at a few places and kind of just relax instead of like hustling like we always hustle all the time. This is only a one-day thing. I only have to have clothes packed for like one day and we can have our driving down and driving back clothes. So hopefully that makes it a lot easier to get on the road. So we have arranged some house sitting, so that's great. And my mom's going to help us out with some of that, which is lovely. Thank you, Mom. And then we are also, we still have to find a place to stay. A lot of times, as you may have seen during Andrew's travels to Tucson, a lot of times we just get there and see what's available to stay at and where, because usually last minute prices are often the best. I tried to look at a few places beforehand here to see, but they were pretty expensive. Not crazy, at least. And depending on where we are and how quickly we get down there or how much time it takes, we might be able to stay a little further away and save some money. So we're just going to see, I think, as we go. We'll see what happens. Yeah, it's. I will say one thing. I know on our website we have ShopPay, and ShopPay is powered by a firm. And when we are on the road traveling, we use Priceline and we use a firm to pay, so we can pay over time for our trips and our stays, and it is amazing. So if you haven't tried a firm or ShopPay yet, I hope you will. It makes it super easy. We can use our Affirm account with Priceline, and it breaks down our stay. What's going on, buddy? It scared me. I thought he was going to go out the window. There's a screen on the window, but he's a big boy. He gets a little too wild. So we only open this window when I can watch him. That's why it's not open very often for him. But so it makes it really easy for us to stay places and do things and break out our payments, and we don't have to pay all at once for anything, which is always, for us having a small business, that especially when it's things that it's hard to plan for, like Andrew going across to Tucson. We didn't know where he was going to end up or where he was staying or how many places he'd have to stay at. So it was really nice to be able to break that up, and we can break it up into payments, pay them over time, easy peasy, no interest, nice. Gilbert must, Susan says, did Gilbert see something? He must have seen something. I don't know what, but he went jumping over there. So yeah, so that's hopefully what we're going to do. As many of you saw yesterday, I was having quite the day. It was a lot on my brain. Um, I am a person who, if travel plans are not like completely lined up and just so, I freak out about traveling. Um, and uh, Andrew's very much, we'll just go, we'll see what happens, it's going to be fine. It's very hard for me to be like that. I don't travel a lot, as many of you might know. Andrew does a lot of our traveling. I stay home often running the store and taking care of the cats, and I'm happy to do that. I'm not really a big traveler. It's not fun for me generally. I worry a lot when I'm away because I worry about things that are not happening, or things that are, we're not, the store's not going to be open because we are going to have to close the store. All of our people who help us watch the store at any point in time are all going to be completely busy this weekend. So none of that worked out. So the store will be closed on Saturday and Sunday. Um, uh, it will be open on Friday. Jen will be in for classes on Friday. So if you are local and you want to hang out and make things and learn from Jen, or just hang out with everyone who comes in and does stuff, please feel free. The store will be open on Friday. But it will not be open on Saturday, and it will not be open on Sunday. Unless we get back Saturday night, then I might open on Sunday. So we'll see. But right now, if you're local, just block it out. Probably not going to happen. But if you want to come up on Sunday, check our website or our Facebook page, and we'll let you know. Bonnie says, I'm exactly the same about needing to plan for travel. Yeah, it freaks me out if I don't have everything lined up. Because one of it for us as a small business is cost. If it's all lined up, I know exactly what stuff costed, and I don't have to try to think about it anymore. But the fact that we travel and sometimes find a place when we get there, we have no idea what that place is going to cost, right? But generally, it's cheaper than what we would have paid. So I don't know why I get so worked up about it, but it is hard for me. I'm very, with an anxious brain, sometimes that anxiety spirals when you don't have definitive answers to things. And so a lot of that was happening yesterday. I wasn't even sure that I was going to go. Andrew says, I feel kind of crummy. I have some crazy sinus issues happening. That's not good. There is supposed to be rain. That's probably why. It is supposed to rain here in Ligonier for the next 7 or 8 days. I think it's Saturday, Sunday. No, I think it starts tomorrow. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think we take a break on Monday or Tuesday, and then it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday again, at least. So the rain is coming, Andrew, which is probably why you're having sinus issues. He always gets sinus issues often when the rain and the storms are coming through. And there are going to be storms and thunderstorms for days, probably close to over a week. At least that's what the weather is reporting now. That can all change at any moment, as we all know. But for now, it is getting crazy. Susan says it's that time of year. Allergies have been brutal. My allergies have been brutal, for sure. That's another part, I think, that was making me a little bit crummy yesterday. I have kept forgetting, and it's my fault, but I keep forgetting to buy allergy pills. I have loratadine, and that helps my hay fever, which is crazy this year. But I get hives from thyroid, from my thyroid disorder, and there's no rhyme or reason when they happen or why they happen. Sometimes if I'm more stressed, they happen more often. And I keep forgetting, and it's usually Allegra. Allegra works, and that's what they say. Allegra, for people who it doesn't work for hay fever, Allegra doesn't do anything for my hay fever usually. I have to take loratadine, which is Claritin. But for thyroid hives, they say that most people find the best remedy or best relief from Allegra, fexofenadine. So I am out, and I have been out for days. Every time I go to the grocery store, I go like almost every day, I keep forgetting to buy it. And so I've been waking up with hives over most of my body for the last 4 or 5 mornings. Last night I rooted through the drawer and found out that we have some Zyrtec, which last time I took Zyrtec, it did nothing. Except I think it gave me wild nightmares. Don't know why. But I took it last night because I was like, I have to take something because I can't keep going, waking up with hives. And it actually worked. I woke up much less. I had a few, but much fewer hives than I had the last few nights. So hives, itchy, allergies, anxiety. Yesterday was a day. I could have just slept the whole day and just forgot about it. I hate to write days off like that, but that's what it felt like. But today I'm back. I feel better. I'm not 100%. I still have some things, but I think you can tell much better, much better. Bonnie says, my sinus headaches have been awful. Yeah, it's hard, right? Janice says, my body can't handle even the smallest front that comes through. It's frustrating. Yeah, I never really, until I met Andrew, I never really noticed people being affected by the weather like that. But he is super, like if it's going to even rain the littlest bit, he'll end up with sinus problems. Andrew says, we should check the weather down there. I really don't want to go to an outdoor event if there are thunderstorms. Yeah, I didn't even think about that, but that's probably a good idea. We probably should not drive for like 9 hours to go to a place that's going to be rained out for the outdoor event. Marianne says, and we are totally the opposite for the next 7 days, supposed to be above 20 degrees Celsius. Nice. You're going to get the warm weather. I'm glad you guys need it, or y'all need it up there. I hate saying you guys. I don't even know why I said that. I never say that, but y'all need it up there. Sorry, I have a hair that I can see, but I can't figure out where it is. Jenna says, I saw in the news that people who normally have allergy issues are having them this year. Yes. Even people who don't get allergies are having them this year. It's crazy. Susan says, rain tonight, then dry and seasonable for the next few days there. That's good. Suzanne says, we were supposed to flood today, but we got a little rain and now it's sunny. Carmen says, hello. Hello, Carmen. Thanks for joining us. Anders is probably also the stress from my hives. Yes, definitely. It's been stressful. It's been stressful. Michelle says, hello, William and the fur babies. Hello, Michelle. Thanks for joining in. Julie says, dang thyroid, it's a pain in the arse. It can be, but at least I still have it, knock, knock, and no further issues with mine. My cousin had to go through thyroid cancer and thyroid removal and had it operated on and removed. And I'm just thankful that mine is still at least functioning somewhat and doing some of the job. Bonnie says, I'm so glad you're better. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm starting to get there. It's stressful. The end of the month, beginning of the month and end of the month are always stressful because it seems like all of our bills happen at the very beginning, generally, of a month. So it's like you have to compile all this money and save all this to pay the bills that come up at the end of the month. And sometimes we have it, and sometimes we have to stretch for it. So the beginnings of the month and the very end of the month are always times that I have like a week and a half in the middle that I'm like, okay, whatever happens, happens. But otherwise, it's difficult. And we're just now starting to get into the season where the store is picking up. So we're seeing more traffic in the store, which is fantastic. I had a number of sales today. They were nice. Nothing crazy, but better than what we've been doing. And we're seeing more and more people starting to come into the store. So that's a really nice thing. When the store can help out the online store, it really makes a difference and can calm my stress levels a little bit. Teresa's joining in. Hello, Teresa. Hello, Susan in Modesto. Thank you for tuning in today. Michelle says, think California's just skipping spring. Oh no, I'm glad we're not. We're getting spring weather for once. Normally Pennsylvania, it seems like we go from 40 to 80 and it just stays at 80. And now it's been up and down. We have some cool nights, which is really nice, and warmer days. And it's been actually really nice. Knock on wood. I hope it stays like this for quite a bit longer. That would be nice. We have had a frost or two, though. It's been freezing. It's been below freezing. I think we went to 29 the one night or something like that. So it is up and down. Michelle already has the AC running for a couple of weeks in tank tops and shorts. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Susan says, it doesn't happen all the time, but when I get full body sneezing and watery eyes, I just feel drained and miserable, right? And that's what it is. It's like allergies on top of hives, on top of stress, on top of anxiety. I was miserable yesterday. I just was trying to get through the day. I had no energy. I was dragging myself around. And I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that. It happens once in a while when things catch up with you, and that's what happened. So we will see if we're going down to North Carolina. If it's going to be pouring down there, I don't think we'll be going. So all that stress for nothing, maybe? I don't know. But hey, I stress over a lot of other things for nothing. Believe me, that's pretty much what anxiety is, stressing over nothing most of the time. So it would not be out of the ordinary. Susan says, good thing you took off the live yesterday, needed you time. Yeah, the lives I love doing, and I love hanging out with you all, but sometimes I'm glad Andrew was able to take that over. I went and got food while he did that, just because sometimes, that extra energy, I just didn't have it. I did not have it yesterday. And it takes a surprising amount of energy to do a live. If you've ever done one, you know. If you've never done one, I'm telling you. After having done this for, 3 years? Almost every weekday for 3 years, with a few misses here and there. But we're kind of used to it, but it's a lot. It takes a lot of energy. Susan says, I stress over nothing too, right? Me too, a lot, unfortunately. But my grandmother was a worrier. My mom is a worrier. My family, they are worriers. My grandmother, even she was in her 80s, and she would still talk about how she was up all night worrying about someone in the family or about she had to do, and so it comes honestly to me. It comes through the bloodline, and it is something that I deal with. Most of my family, some other members of my family also are on medication for anxiety and things. A lot of us probably should have been who weren't, or who weren't with us anymore. But yeah, my grandmother would talk about how she spent the night awake worrying about people and people she loved and things that could go wrong, or household things. And so it's one of those things. It is definitely a thing. And I don't know, we were talking about this a while ago. Some people do not have an inner monologue. So if you don't know what I mean, there are people who do and who do not have inner monologues in their brain. So me, all day long, I kind of talk to myself in my head. So when you hear a song, this is the only way I can explain it for people who don't have it. And maybe you don't even do this. I don't know. But when you hear a song and you've just heard it, and you can recall exactly how it was sung and what was sung, maybe people don't have inner monologues, can't do that either. But for me, when I hear a song, a few seconds after that, I can think about it, and it kind of feels like it's being replayed in my head. That is what an inner monologue is like. You're constantly talking to yourself. You're kind of in front. You're kind of between. I consider it kind of between your subconscious and your conscious. There's a filter that talks to you or talks about everything that's going on. And some people don't have that. Some people are completely blank in their brain. They don't have that inner monologue. They just think somehow, and you don't have to put it into words. And my brain puts things into words a lot. And it's probably actually slows down my thinking to a point, but it also feels like there's constantly someone talking or thinking about things that could go wrong. And I'm not crazy, y'all. I've read a lot about this. It's a real thing. Let's see here. Janice says, I'm trying to work on contacting my stress levels and anxiety. It's a work in progress. I'm a big time worrier. Yeah, it's hard, right? Susan comes from a family of worriers too. Julie says, everyone is wired different, right? It is. Susan says, my inner monologue runs constantly too. It's surprising to me that some folks don't have an inner monologue. I know. I didn't know that was a thing. If you don't have one, if you're one of those people who do not have an inner monologue, maybe you can answer this. But when you read, do you read to yourself? Do you just see the words and they just come into your head? Or do you constantly, in your mind, read out everything you're reading, because I read out everything I'm reading. So my reading is slow. My comprehension, I think, is good because of that, because I'm constantly seeing it and auditorily hearing it, but not actually saying it out loud. It's weird. It's weird how an inner monologue, trying to explain it, is difficult. But I don't know. But if you do read things in your head as you're reading, that's what an inner monologue is all the time. It's just my thoughts don't come to me. I think them and hear them in a way. It's weird. I don't know how to explain it other than that. So my inner monologue is constantly chatting, constantly telling me about things that could go wrong, constantly, things that can go good too, but mostly I have gotten in a loop cycle of things that go wrong. And that's where my anxiety a lot of times comes from. And I'm trying to work on that. And as Janice is saying too, I'm trying to work on that by meditating and calming myself. And I'm trying to figure out how people function and think without an inner monologue. And it's weird. The more I think about it, the more I've been able to, during some parts, if I'm highly focused, I'm able to think and function without the inner monologue, which I think is a way of hopefully helping myself. I don't know if anyone out there has gone from having one to not having one, or deciding when you're going to have. That'd be nice if I could decide when it happens and when it doesn't. But there was a few days that while I was thinking about it, I could, the weird thing about an inner monologue is you already know, because you've already made the decision in your brain what you're thinking about, right? Your brain has already done that. Your inner monologue comes out and then kind of says it. And you're like, but I already know that. I don't need it to be said in my head again. And if you don't have one of these, I probably sound like a crazy person, but if you have one, you know what I'm talking about, I hope. You've already made that thought. You don't need it to be kind of spoken in your head, but yet that's what happens. And I'm trying to figure out if I can cut out that middleman and just kind of tone it down a little bit. And I think that's what the point of meditation often does, because they talk about a monkey mind or a monkey brain, and how your brain's just like going, like you imagine a monkey jumping around and talking and without any purpose, a monkey in a cage. And that's how my brain kind of goes. And meditation, and I know I'm not crazy, because this is a thing through Zen Buddhism and stuff. They talk about this and how you need to calm your mind. And I think calming your mind means trying to get through that inner monologue just to the thought process, and just to, because if you don't have the inner monologue, your thoughts are instantaneous instead of drawn out through this speech. Anyway, I don't know if that makes any sense. I'm gonna look at some comments before I go too far into this. Michelle says, I talk to objects, especially when they're not working right. Oh, I do that too. Sandra says, OMG, that is me. Yeah, I'm sorry if that's how it works for you too. Janice is not sure why I said contacting, not sure what I meant. I know it wasn't quite the right word, but it made sense. We got what you were doing. Teresa has to get a shingle shot tomorrow. That's awful, but probably better than getting shingles. I've had shingles from stress. I had shingles when I was, I think 19 or 20. I had some very stressful times in my life, and I ended up getting shingles on one side of my body. It was painful, and it was not great. So better, I guess, the shot than the shingles. Michelle says, with my ADHD, my brain is constantly going, so I don't pay attention to what it's doing. I wish I could not pay attention. I wish. Suzanne says, the words just come into my head. I don't know how people do that. I don't know how that happens without reading them out loud or hearing them in your own head. It's weird. It's weird. Julie says, me too. Marion says, no sounds to words in books. Yeah. See, and you read a lot, right? So you probably read them a lot faster. I literally, in my head, read out every word to myself that I read. I can't just scan the words and know what they mean. Like, I don't have that connection with the page in the language. So if I read a book out loud to you or read it to myself, it would take exactly the same amount of time, because in theory and in practice, I am reading the book out loud, except to myself in my head. So I can't speed read, because I can't speed say or speed speak. Anyway, hello, Teresa. Thanks for joining in. Let's see here. What else is going on? Teresa says, I hear the words in my head when I read. Yeah. So if you do that, then you may already have an inner monologue where you hear the words of your own thoughts all the time. And that's what it's like for me. And when my anxiety goes up, it's all those words telling me bad things are going to happen and bad thoughts. And I think they're made more real because I reinforce them by hearing them in my head. If they were just a thought that like I imagine people without an inner monologue have, if they were just a thought, they go away, right? You wouldn't concentrate on them. They would go away. But when you actually take the time, if you have an inner monologue that they're said to yourself, it kind of reinforces that thought and it makes it harder. There's also, I've been reading lately, there are chemicals in your brain that bring on thoughts. I think we all know that. But there are also chemicals in your brain that are supposed to help, I don't know how to say it other than dissolve the thoughts. And some people who have anxiety and have ADHD and things like that, they are missing the chemical in your brain that helps you to dissolve thoughts. And it helps you to get rid of thoughts so that they don't last. And so people with anxiety often are making new thoughts upon new thoughts upon new thoughts and constantly making thoughts, but their brain isn't able to dissolve those thoughts because they're missing that brain chemical, or they're low on that chemical that helps get the thoughts to go away. So it's constantly thinking the same things but bringing in new thoughts, and it's like an overload of thoughts that aren't chemically, because thoughts are just chemicals and reactions that aren't dissolving right. It's a weird, I've just started reading into that, and I'm starting to look into different minerals and vitamins and things that help supplement some of that and create, and your body changes those chemicals into the processes that it needs to break that thoughts down. Anyway. Janice says, we had an unexpected death in the family early this month. Now I worry about everything and everyone. I need to get my thoughts under control. I'm sorry that happened, but I definitely understand that. It's hard when those things happen because it seems like they happen out of nowhere. And if you have anxiety, anything then can happen out of nowhere, right? We already think that anyway, but when it actually comes true, it kind of, for me, when something like that happens, it reinforces my thought saying, see, you knew something bad could happen anytime, and look what just happened. Even though, that stuff happens all the time to a lot of different people. Obviously, something can happen all the time. But when you get that reinforced through bad things and when you're a worrier, it just makes you think, see, you were right. Anything bad could happen. Now you got to prepare for anything bad to happen even more. It's a constant cycle. Bonnie says, yes, I have one, and I have been meditating for sure. It helps. Good. Meditation, I do think helps. Michelle says, you're confusing me, so I don't think mine thinks that way. Probably not. Probably not. Let's see here. Oops. Marion says, I can talk to myself when I want to. Yeah, we can all talk to ourselves, but does your brain talk to you always, constantly, through every thought? That's an inner monologue. You don't have thoughts unless they're heard, even though you don't speak. They're heard in your mind. Terry says, meditation helps calm my mind. Yeah, it definitely, I think meditation helps cut through the inner monologue and makes you focus on not having it as much and quieting it, and getting more like to a person who doesn't have an inner monologue. And I would be very interested to know what the numbers are on people who have anxiety with and without inner monologues, if the inner monologue is higher or not. I don't know if there are any studies. I haven't found any yet, but I would love to see that, to see if cutting out the inner monologue also helps reduce anxiety. Susie says, as I've gotten older, my inner monologue has kept me from doing things and breaking out of the box. It's always what if and holds me back. It's true. It can do that a lot to people, and it does that to me too, because especially if you're like, I'm sure there are people out there with inner monologues that are like, yeah, go for it, go do it, run, jump. Mine is like, whoa, you don't want to hurt yourself. Whoa, you don't know if you can do that, you know. So it's hard. Hello, Karen. Thanks for joining in. Jenna says, I've had shingles twice and they aren't pleasant. They are not. They are not. Sandra says, I didn't realize everyone didn't have a monologue. Yeah, it's true. Some people don't. You know what else some people can't do? They cannot visualize in their brain. Like right now, I'm thinking of what a unicorn looks like in my brain. Colors, rainbows, unicorn. Some people can't do that. Like when they say, some people don't understand when they say count sheep to go to sleep, and you count sheep jumping over a fence. Some people literally cannot picture things in their mind. They can draw it, they can see it, but in their mind, they don't get a visual idea of that at all. There's no visualizing. Like I can visualize a sheep that's red or blue. I'm just doing it right now. Blue, blue, or some people can't do that. So some people have an inner monologue, some don't. Some people can visualize things and colors and scenes in their mind. Some cannot at all. Susan says, I've told you before, this fascinates me. It must be so tiring. It can be. Suzanne says, if I'm reading instructions, I read the words. Yeah, I have to read the words all the time. I don't have a choice. If I'm reading your emails, I am reading them in my brain. I'm reading each word. I'm not just scanning the words and it's entering my mind. I don't know how people do that. Michelle says I can speed read. Yeah, you don't have an inner monologue, right? The words just go right into your brain, and they're there, and you understand them. I have a buffer in between, and that's all I can call an inner monologue, because it is a buffer. It's a buffer of things going out, and it's a buffer of things coming in. It slows down the process both ways, but it can also compile and add on to the process. Marianne read a whole book yesterday. I would have to take 8 or 9 hours probably to read a whole book. Whatever it takes to read it on Audible, that's pretty much how long it takes me to read a book. Susan says, speaking of reading, it's Indie Bookstore Day this Saturday. Nice. I think, it was this past Saturday was Record Store Day too. I missed that, but I don't usually do anything for it anyway. Suzanne's going to your favorite bookstore on Saturday. Nice. Oops. And the comments just jumped. So let me see where I was. Michelle says, I have had ADHD since I was 4, but I don't have anxiety. Doctors don't understand why either. That's good, I guess. I think I have ADHD. I was not diagnosed as a child, but I think I was high functioning enough. And because I wasn't diagnosed as a child, it is harder to get diagnosed as an adult. A lot of times, there are a lot of different tests you have to go through. I have not done that, but I do believe that it is in my family. Michelle says, my son has ADHD with anxiety. Yep. Yes, Marianne, there was a Barnaby tale. He's on my lap right now. Suzanne says, my sister-in-law from Virginia claims I have ADHD, but she's always diagnosing somebody with something. Yeah, I think I have it. I don't know for sure. I hate to say that even to in any way make light of people who do have it, but there's a lot of what I read about how a lot of people function and keep their spaces and do things with ADHD that I think I have. And like I said, I think I was just, I think I was high functioning enough. And what I mean by that is that I was able to overcome it in a lot of my life just by finding coping mechanisms. But I think had I been diagnosed earlier, not that I have been yet, I think it could have made a difference, but I don't know if I would be on, even if I were diagnosed, I don't know if I'd want to be on the medications. I don't know. If I could calm some of this down, maybe I would. Bonnie says, I would say yes, meditation along with certain medication absolutely helps to help the inner monologue. Yes. When I got on my anxiety medication, I don't know. People believe what they believe. From day one, it helped. It calmed it down. It calmed it down. Susan says, when you said unicorn, I visualized this little plush that I have had, the Hubs Dubs sparkle farts. Yeah, but you can visualize it, right? You know what it looks like in your head. Like you can look at it, you can scan it, you can see the hole, what it looks like, if it has worn spots, or you know that. Some people can't do that. Marion says, I hardly ever consciously visualize things in my mind. Yeah, I do it quite a bit, I guess. But some people can't. They can't at all. Terry says, you know that some people dream in color and some in black and white only. I have heard that. I've also heard that people just either forget when they wake up that they've dreamt in color or black and white. But I believe my dreams are in color. So, but I can also visualize things in color in my brain. So I think that might be also a difference too. Andrew says speed reading is also a skill that you can train yourself to do. That's what they say. That's what they say. I've tried a few times, but I never put a ton of effort into it because I don't know. I just, every time I tried it, every time I did it, I didn't feel like I could grasp the information as well. And most of my life, my reading has been a lot for school, or, that it was tested. And so at least back then when I was trying all this, and I was not grasping concepts, so I just gave up on it. Bonnie says, but you need the time to work on it. Yes. If you're going to meditate, you need to work on it. If you're going to journal, you need to work on it. It's putting in a little effort every day, right? Teresa's, every word I can see in my brain. Some people are like that too, right? I don't visualize every word in my brain, but I do hear them in my brain. Susan dreams mostly in color. Marion says, I speed up Audible books. Normal speed is too slow. Yeah, that's the speed at which I have to read. So I often, when I'm listening to stuff like that on podcasts or Audible, a lot of times I will speed it up a little bit. But if I'm going to take the time to listen to them, a lot of times too, I will just be like, I'm going to take the time to listen to them. But if sometimes I have to speed them up, so I have to pay attention too. Because if I don't speed them up, I'll start blanking out. If I speed them up, I have to keep paying attention more. Susan says, does your mind ever rest? Good question. Rarely. The only time my mind really rests is if I'm watching TV, which is why usually at night before bed I watch TV, because if I'm paying attention to something else, it helps. So I can rest when I watch TV. Sometimes things still pop in. And I think that's also the reason I don't remember a lot of the things I watch, because I am watching more to distract my brain and to give myself a rest than I am to actually watch whatever's happening on the TV. So I very often forget what I watch, but my watching is mostly a kind of self-help thing that helps me just shut my brain down a little bit for a moment, because otherwise my brain generally does not stop going at any point, unless even when I'm sleeping, I'm dreaming. But that's at least a break for me consciously. But anytime I'm awake, I'm thinking about stuff. And usually it's not about what I'm actually working on or doing. It's other things, intrusive thoughts coming in. And so TV time is one of the few things. Sometimes music can do it too. If I get the big headphones on and block out all the other sound, and I get really into the music, or when I'm dancing. That's why I like to go dancing a lot when I was younger, and go to the clubs and do things, because dancing helps me just forget everything else. So those are the kind of three ways: TV mostly, some music sometimes, and dancing if we have the occasion to do it. Terry says, I visually can see everything in my brain. Yeah, that's good. I think it's good. But not everyone can, which is so weird to me. So weird to me. Diane says, I often have an inner monologue, but it doesn't interfere with my reading. However, the ADHD does. Sometimes I have a hard time focusing enough to actually comprehend the words. I do that a lot. Sometimes I have to read things multiple times because I focus on the words, and sometimes I focus on the words so much that I'm just focusing on the words, but I'm not actually getting the meaning between the words, reading the words together. Weird. Maybe. I don't know. May not make sense to most people. Marion says, I hardly ever remember dreams, but those I do are in color. Sandra says, I definitely dream in color and visualize things in my brain. See, you're like me. You dream in color, you visualize things, and you have an inner monologue. Some people are completely the opposite. They don't do any of those. Susie says, my dreams are extremely vivid, and I usually remember them for a while after I wake up. I often remember my dreams. Well, I say that, but they also say that when you wake up and you think you didn't dream, you just aren't remembering your dream. So how often do I remember? I don't know. But most days I will wake up and remember that I dreamt something. Teresa says, I dream in color. Michelle says, they taught us speed reading in the 3rd grade in Northern California. That's nice. I don't know. They never taught that in our school. Hello, Danette. Good to see you here. Thanks for joining in. It's a lovely day in Western PA. It has been an amazing day. I think that's also helping my mood. It's like 66 to 68. It was 66 right now, and it's sunny and it's lovely. But the rain's coming, y'all. The rain's coming. Diane says, ADHD messes up your focus, but can also cause you to be hyper-focused on things you are interested in. Yeah, I lose focus a lot when I don't want to. And I can get really hyper-focused if I get something I'm super interested in. Like if I'm redoing the website or technology stuff, sometimes I can get so focused I lose track of time. But they also call that the flow state, which most people can get into. Andrew says, I'm not a speed reader, but I took speed reading in high school as part of a study prep course. I wish I would have had that. They offered that not at all. Not at all. Susie says, most of my dreams seem to be interconnected. Mine are generally not interconnected. But I will say, I've been having pretty pleasant dreams. So, when things are crazy on the outside, it's nice that at least sometimes in my sleep I have some pleasant dreams. Diane says, if I read fiction, sometimes I will read a book in a day because I literally can't put it down. I have read a book in a day. It's rare because it takes so long. I would literally have to not do anything all day and feel like I have the time and that I didn't have anything else to do, or didn't have anything for the store to do, or didn't have anything for family to do, or that I could just sit for 8 hours and read a book. It's rare. It's rare for me because it takes that long. Susan says, I've never been able to get into audiobooks. Podcasts, yes, but ebooks and audiobooks, no. I love podcasts. I listen to them usually on my way to my other job every week, on my way home. That's about the only time I listen because I'm not. It's the only time I have a long enough drive that I physically can't do anything else. I would like to listen to more of them, but audiobooks I do have a hard time with too. But I'm going to try harder to get into more of those because I really do want to read more because I love information. I love learning new stuff, especially science and brain and all that chemistry stuff. But I'm never going to sit down and read a book. It just takes so long. I don't know why I buy books, but I buy books. I love books. Andrew says, I like to listen at regular speed so that they can get the rhythm of the words as the author intended. Yeah, especially if the author is reading the book. Then you really know that's how they wanted it to be. Susan says, I can't speed read. My brain has to digest each word. Mine too. Mine too. It's very hard. I can't look like speed reading a lot of times when I was trying to learn it through other programs, not in school, but they were like, just take your finger and look over each word, or look over 3 sentences at a time and your brain will put it together. My brain does not do that. My brain does not do that. Michelle says, even watching TV, I'm still texting or beating or playing a game on my phone, sometimes listening to music. I do all that when I watch TV a lot of times, especially on my phone now. I don't usually listen to music and watch TV at the same time. Those are 2 different things for me. But texting, watching TV, playing a game, definitely do those a lot. I like to fill my space with things so that I have multiple ways of calming my brain down and not having to think about things. Diane says, I have to have the TV on to sleep. This is also why I like running. When I turn my music up and run, it actually shuts off my brain for a little bit. Yes, I have noticed as I run more, it is helping that. I still find myself thinking about things, but when I allow myself to be free and my brain to clear out when I'm running, I can run for much longer distances than when I start thinking about things. Because I always inevitably start thinking, oh, you've been running a while. Aren't your legs sore yet? Or aren't you out of breath? Or aren't you this? Or aren't you that? And if I just clear that, if I can get to the point where I can clear that out, I can keep running for miles, really, which is weird. It's just getting out of your own way sometimes. So I get that. And all my life growing up, I had to have the TV on to fall asleep. I don't have to have that now, but sometimes I do turn on like sleep apps and things like that to just have something talking. But a lot of times I've been trying to exercise toward evening now, and I do kind of pass out pretty quick, which is nice. Let's see. Bonnie says, I just finished my seed bead fringe earrings that have taken me literally 2 days. I can see why. I can see why. I have to get my chores done tomorrow. Marianne says, I don't usually speed read, but I can do it. Susan says, I remember reading Interview with a Vampire in one sitting, probably because it was during a snowstorm. Yes, yes, during a snowstorm is, that would be, you know, what can you do? Marianne, usually walking if the book is audio. That's good. One of my friends, he walks/runs, he jogs, I think, every morning. And he listens to audiobooks while jogging. I don't know if I could do that. I listen to music, and I like the music to pump me up, so I listen to some usually more up-tempo music sometimes. I don't know if I could listen to audiobooks because I think my brain would totally miss things, I think. Maybe I'll try it and find out. Susie says, if I get weird for a moment, I kept dreaming of a beach where the desert met the ocean. And the desert met the ocean and the beach dropped right off the shore. Scared me to death. It turns out it's a real beach in Namibia that I've never seen. That's wild. That's really weird. Susan says, got my chores done today, so it's playtime tomorrow. Nice. That's always nice. All right. I've done enough chit-chatting with y'all. Let's flip this camera around, and we're going to see if there's anything here you like. I have this going across the bottom. So we're going to have lot numbers. They're going to be Y lots today. I don't think we've done Y yet. So they're going to be Y lots. I think I have 17 Y lots for you. Again, these gemstones you may have gotten in your Desert Discoveries package, but you may not have. So otherwise, we've never shown these before yet. So if you didn't get them in your Desert Discoveries, these are all new to you from us. And yeah, hopefully you'll like them. Hopefully you'll buy some. Help us take our trip. Diane says, I listen to angry music when I run. Mine, lately, actually, no. Lately, I've been listening to Maritza, Fado music. I listen to Tiffany's I Think We're Alone Now. I don't know why, but it helps me. It comes on like right at the right time when I'm starting to slow down. I'm like, we can do this. Let's run now. Holding on to each other's hands, right? And then what else? Cold Heart by Elton John. For some reason, that's like how I start off every run now. Cold Heart, then there's a Maritza song, and then there's I Think We're Alone Now, and then there's another Maritza song, and then the playlist gets a little wild after that, so I have to tune it in after that. But that's like my running regimen. I don't know why. Teresa says, listen to the new podcast you uploaded. Thank you. Yeah, if you're on YouTube, we are moving our podcast. We're not moving it. We're adding it. We're adding it to YouTube. So our podcast is available on SoundCloud. It's available on Google Podcasts. It's available on Apple Podcasts. It's available on Spotify. It's in all those places. Most of the places you want to listen to podcasts, it's there already. But we are now, YouTube's making this big deal about how they're doing podcasts now, and they actually have a separate podcast area. So we are taking our old episodes and we are re-uploading them into YouTube so that you can listen to them there. They are supposed to be visual, so I can't just upload the files I already have. I have to add a little title screen across it so it turns it into a video, and then process it again and then re-upload it. So I've been doing that little by little here and there as I can. And I uploaded 2 new ones today, and I think I uploaded 1 or 2 of them yesterday. So if you have not listened to any of those podcast episodes on YouTube, please do that. They are older. They're from 2018, 2019 mostly. And so some of the information is old in them, but the thoughts that people have and the advice people have, that's all good stuff. It's all good stuff in there. So hopefully you'll take a listen to that and watch those, listen to those on YouTube to help us get those counts up, keep our count numbers up. We appreciate that. So if you're falling asleep or you're doing some cooking or doing some cleaning, put it on your TV on YouTube or stream it from your phone on YouTube and just listen to them. That would help us get our counts up, and hit that like always, hit that subscribe if you like what we do, and please share as well. Commenting is also great. If you put a comment in the comment box. The thing is when we do these lives, all these comments that you all give us, they don't count. I hate to say they don't count. They count during the live, but they don't count for comments on YouTube on our videos. They don't actually show up in the comment section most of the time. So now if you're rewatching and you do it, it counts. It's so weird. But I don't know. I'd rather have these count because this is when we're talking to you and we're actually live. But if you do comment, that helps. So commenting, liking, sharing, those thumbs ups on YouTube, subscribing, all the good stuff. Please do it. Please help us out. Let the word spread that we have a podcast. We're going to try and get back to that this year and interview some awesome people and makers and small business people and creators. I'm very excited about that. So we're getting the old episodes up there so that we can get into the new stuff hopefully later this year. Let's see here. Susan says, my buddy played a tune on one of his radio shows that has been going through my head since. Lucius Jackson's Naked Eye, Garbage is Only Happy When It Rains. That's cool. What? I didn't know that about counts. Sandra, what about counts? The comments, they don't count? The comments count for the live because we can talk to you. That's the best part. But whenever the videos, these lives end, and we look at the comments, and YouTube looks at the comments in the analytics section of YouTube. When we analyze all the numbers, they don't count any of your comments here during the live. They don't count any of those. And I don't know why. They're counted as live comments, but not actual video comments. I don't know why. But that's the way it is. So if you're rewatching and you comment on the video, I see all of those. And I try to reply to everybody, or at least give you a heart if there's not really a reply to make. We try to keep that. Hopefully everybody gets some love. But especially since we can't be here in the live, you're not here. If you're rewatching, you probably weren't during the live. So I try to give some love to everybody. But it does help. Those comments help. The sharing helps. Subscribing definitely helps. And the thumbs up. On YouTube, thumbs up is one of the best ways to help. It lets YouTube know that you like what you're seeing. Because if you don't give thumbs up and you watch the whole thing, they're going to be like, they watched it. They didn't like it. So thumbs up helps. All right. All right. I've talked so much. I didn't mean to talk this long. We have to get the car ready. I have to go get the oil changed. That's probably now going to be, that's definitely going to be tomorrow because they close at 7. I'm not going to be done by 7. So tomorrow morning I'm going to get up. Jen's going to open the store for us and do the classes. So I'm going to get up, try and get up early. We're going to check the weather, see if it's even worth going down now at this point. And if it is, we're going to get the car oil changed, hopefully quickly, and get ready to go. So that's my day tomorrow, driving and car stuff. Anyway, let's flip this around. You didn't ask about tomorrow. What am I talking about tomorrow for? We got today. We got today, right, everybody? We still have today. I'm going to flip this camera around. I'm going to pick, I think it's this one I like to pick. There we go. Let me aim this up a little bit. And I have to flip. Look, look, don't look. Don't look at that. The camera still is mirrored on my side. Okay. All right. So here we are. You may have already seen that. So let's go ahead and show you the design challenge mix, a sneak peek. This is the Design Challenge Mix. It's carnelian, everybody. Design Challenge Mix, carnelian for May. For May. And look at this mix. You got lots of good things in here. You got some tubes, you got some rounds, faceted rounds, you got some pebbles, you have some rough, actually. Andrew threw some rough stuff in there. So now y'all may not get all of this. You may not get a rough one in your package. You know, you may not get tubes in your package. You never know what you're going to get because we take this whole mix. And I've dumped it out into a few different things here. You can see some of these little tubes in here. In this one a little better. But there's some rough stuff in there. So lots of beautiful stuff in there. Lots of lovely carnelian. You will get a 2x3 bag of that, and that is one of these little bags. So you get a 2x3 bag of the mix, just like all the other Design Challenge mixes. So you'll get that, and you will also get a toggle. We will do a toggle or a pendant or something from the Allegory Gallery Fine Pewter collection, but I don't have that. I'm just going to show you this today. I have to run up to the cottage to get that, so I don't have that to show you. So that's going to be kind of a surprise for y'all once we put it out there. And that's how all of our Design Challenge mixes are. They're a bag of mix and a piece from the Allegory Gallery Fine Pewter collection. So that'll be coming to the website probably tomorrow. At some point, I'm going to run up to the cottage and get that final piece and take some pictures. And I'll post these into the online store. If you missed yesterday, then you missed finding out that this is going to be, this is April's Global Adventure Kit, going to Turkey with these Nazar Evil Eye beads. And so Andrew explained yesterday, if you missed that, he purchased these. He went through all the trouble to find a Turkish vendor so that we could actually try to get the beads from Turkey. And then some of the bags came with made in China. So we can't say these are all from Turkey for sure, but that's the thing, right? And then you're going to get this Allegory Gallery Fine Pewter toggle with that. So that's the Global Adventure Kit. That'll be coming out probably on the website tomorrow, maybe tonight, we'll see. And then this is the Design Challenge Mix Carnelian, which is going to come out either tonight or tomorrow. All right. So that's that, everybody. And now we're going to take a look at some gemstones. But before I do that, I'm going to pull down my extra lights. Pull down my extra lights here so we have some extra light. I'm going to get my very fancy diffusers, which means a sheet of paper for my lights. And I think I need one more diffuser here. I have this whole package of diffusers, and I'm just trying to get one out. Just trying to get one out. And then, of course, the wind is coming in the window, and my diffusers are moving. So we'll see how well that holds up, and if that actually works. Probably not going to. I may have to close this window after all. Sorry, Gilbert. He's done with it anyway. Marion says, definitely need this mix. The carnelian, yes, yes. Susan says bead salad. They're like bead salad, right? Susan says, oh, my AG package arrived today. Most awesome. Oh, good. I'm glad you're happy with it. We only want happy. We want happy people. Happy, happy people with happy, happy packages. All right. Here's the 1 cent penny for all y'all out there who like the penny. All right, so I'm going to show you the gemstone strands. I have, come on, stop doing that. I have lot numbers. This is lot Y1. Sorry, some of my, I couldn't find my Sharpie, and because the pencil didn't work for people to be able to see it last time, you can see my hand. I had to refill one of my fountain pens, and I used that, and obviously I threw some of these in wet. So sorry about that, but I will walk you through and talk you through what they are. All right. This is lot Y1. These are $24 per strand. These are all priced per strand, everybody. I may show you more than one if we have more than one, but they are all per strand, okay? So lot Y1 is this beautiful agate, which is, I believe, etched. I want to say it's etched in some way to get that coloring. These are rounds, and these are, I believe, I want to say they're 8mm. Let me check. These are 8mm rounds, $24 a strand. Only 2 strands available. These are an agate, mixed agate. Okay, the wind is getting wild here. Let me see if I can close the drapes at least a little bit to block it. There we go. There we go. All right. So if you like those, send us an email that says Y1. And if you are first or second, if the first person doesn't claim 2, if you want more than 1, say that in your email. But you will get them. Andrew says they're etched with acid. So there you go. That's how it works. Etched with acid. These are rounds, though. Even though they have these that look like they turn them into melons with cutouts, these are smooth and round, everybody. Now, again, some of you may have gotten these in your Desert Discoveries package, but many of you did not. So this is what this is all about. All right. Y1, $24 per strand. Acid etched agate. Marianne says AG mail is definitely happy mail. Good. I hope you all think that. All right. Next up, Y2. Susan says looks a bit like some Czech glass I have. Yeah, it looks like the Czech glass melons, but it's not bumpy, lumpy. It's just smooth. Smooth. It would mix well with the Czech glass. All right. Next up, lot Y2. These are $15 strands, and these are chrysoprase. Chrysoprase, small chrysoprase, mostly rounds. They're a little bit nuggety, and let's see here. These are approximately 3mm, 3mm chrysoprase, kind of nuggety rounds. Not completely smooth, as you can see, but pretty smooth, pretty smooth. So these are Y2, and they are $15 per strand. $15 per strand. Nice quality chrysoprase. If you need small beads, you work with small beads, or you want them for spacers in between other things, these are great. A little pop of deep saturated color there. My lights keep going out on me, so let me open my home app and turn on my lights. There we go. Sorry, everybody. Let me just kick these up to 100% on my lighting so it stops. Oh, okay. It's always something. It's always something. Lot Y3, $24. I only have 1 strand of these. And this is tourmalinated quartz. Tourmalinated quartz. Hey, what are you eating, Barnaby? Oh, these kids. Tourmalinated quartz. 1 strand, $24. And I believe these are 8 or 10? 9mm. 9mm. Y3, $24 for the strand. Beautiful tourmalinated quartz. Y4. Well, these are nice. These are nice. So this is Y4. These are, let me check them before I put them on here. 6 millimeter, AAA grade green garnet. AAA grade green garnet in 6 millimeter rounds. Smooth rounds. $32 per strand. Look at the quality. Look at how pretty they are. And these are generally all full strands. They're between generally 15 to 16 inches. $32 a strand. I have 5 of these strands currently available. The rest of anything we got went into the Desert Discoveries packages. So green garnet, AAA grade. Just to show you, that's the suggested retail, $36.80. We're doing them for $32 for you. $32. Look at how beautiful those are. Oh, I love the green and the like honey browns together. So pretty. All right, that is Y4. Y4. Y5. Ooh, these are nice too. Again, $32. Whoa. $32. Again, on these ones, suggested retail is also $38.80. These are beautiful 6 millimeter or 6 millimeter green emerald. Let me get these all the same length here. Green emerald, $32 a strand. 6 millimeter smooth rounds of green emerald. Look at some of that flash that they have. I'm trying to stand out and not block the actual sunlight coming in the window because that gives us the best look. Gesundheit, Barbie. Green emerald, 3 strands available, $32 a strand. And again, green emerald, $38.80 is the suggested retail on those. And we kept it at $32 for you. $32 because we love y'all, and that's the pricing structure. That's what we're able to do. We buy them in bulk. We buy from the same vendors over and over again. And the more you do that, the better deals you get. And we can offer them at a lower price for all of you. That's what happens. When you buy from us, we keep buying from people, and the prices hopefully go down. Hopefully go down. Now this one, I want to show you. This is AA grade rhodochrosite. If you don't like pink, you're not going to like this. But I want to show you. AA grade rhodochrosite. Look at the suggested retail. $76.80. $76.80. $36, y'all. $36. And I want to show you, this is honestly, I'm not a huge fan of rhodochrosite, but these strands have me thinking twice, because there are some beautiful gemmy parts of these, and they are really, really beautiful strands. 6 millimeter, smooth rounds, rhodochrosite, AA grade. Suggested retail over $76. We have them for $36 per strand. $36 per strand. Look at how pretty those are. I don't know when the last time I saw rhodochrosite like this was. I think they're stupendous. And like I said, I'm not even a huge fan of rhodochrosite, and I think it looks amazing. I would be tempted to buy these just because they're such a pretty example of that stone that you don't see like this very often. So there you go. Bonnie says, love that pink stone, right? Me too. I mean, I don't normally, but this one, these particular strands, good stuff. Good stuff. $36 a strand, Y6. Remember, if you want more than one, I'm showing you all that we've got. So if you want more than one, you see me holding two and you want both, in your email, please make sure you put that you want both. Otherwise, I think you just want one, and I'll move on to the next person who wants one. Now, if you don't want these, I think you're crazy. I know. Nobody's crazy, but except me, maybe. But this is coming up. This is Y7, $12 a strand. These are matte onyx. Matte onyx, everybody. These are 6mm stones. Sandra says very pretty, and that pink, yes. Matte onyx, and they are faceted matte onyx beads. I think these are awesome. These add, I think, these are very classy little stones. If you're doing, you know, kind of classy, sophisticated look, I think these would be great. If you're just doing maybe a black and white or an all black look, I think these would add a little bit of sparkle. But there you go. Oh, there's Denise. Says, where do I watch you guys now? You can watch us, Denise, on our Facebook page, like always. You can watch us in the Design Challenge Facebook group. You can watch us in the Polymer Clay Club group, in the Inspired by Reading Book Club group, or you can watch us on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/Allegory Gallery. So there are 5 places on, and you can watch on my personal page, my personal Facebook page. I stream there as well because I have to sign in to my account to stream to all these. So there are 5 different places on YouTube or on Facebook you can watch, and our YouTube channel. Every weekday, pretty much, unless we note on our Facebook page and YouTube community chat that we are here every weekday for you to watch around 5 p.m. usually. I was a little late today, so we started at 5:40 today. But this is onyx. These are matte onyx, and they are faceted 6mm beads. Y7, $12 only, y'all. $12. So if you do see something you like, as this is saying across the bottom of the page, take down the lot number, send it to us in an email at info@allegorygallery.com. And you can use that as the subject line. Address the email to info@allegorygallery.com, put Y7 in the subject line, and hit send. Most emails will warn you if you don't put a subject in, but they will not warn you if you have no body of the email. So you can just put Y7 in the subject, and that makes it super easy for me to go through and look too. Denise says, I won't be beading for a while. I have to replace a shoulder. Have to have a shoulder. I know you have to have a shoulder replacement. We were talking about that when I saw you last. I hope it goes well for you. Sandra, the onyx was 6mm. 6mm. Let me make sure. Is it 6 or 5? 6 or 5? 6mm. 6mm. Yeah, Denise. Hopefully you'll be all better after that, right? It should. I would think that would help a lot. People having shoulder replacements and knee replacements lately, I think medicine has really done a great job lately, and people seem to get a lot of great results from all that stuff. So we're hoping for great results for you. Oops, this one's stuck. Sorry, everybody. I'm untangling things here. Trying to, anyway. There we go. Hello, Donna. Good evening. All right, so the next thing up, this is one of the most popular current shapes. Denise says, hopefully I miss beading so much. We miss you too. You know you can still come in and just hang out for classes and you don't have to bead. You know that, right? It would be nice just to see you. Denise is one of our locals. We have not seen her in for classes lately, so hopefully you can come in. This is this cube, faceted cube cut fluorite. Y'all know fluorite's big right now. Fluorite is everywhere, and this cube cut is awesome. It's a faceted cube. I think these are 6mm. These are 6mm faceted cubes. And we have 5 strands of it, $48 a strand. But I want to show you, here's what they say we should charge you, $58.80. So over $10 off is what we're charging you. Diane says, I just come in to talk all the time. I know. Diane came in to visit me today just to say hi. And she brought me some goodies because she knew I was feeling bad yesterday. So she brought me some goodies today. So thank you again, Diane. And Denise, you know, sometimes y'all, you don't think so. I know some people think, oh, I'm not going to come to classes because I'm not going to be able to make anything. Sometimes, you know, your presence is enough. Most of the time, all of the time, your presence is enough. So you're all welcome. Anybody local, anybody around, you're welcome to come in and hang out. We would love to see you. It is not, we are not all about selling. We have to sell to make a living. If I could just hang out with people all day and make stuff and not have to worry about that, I would say everybody come in all the time and let's just hang out. I know there's some pressure to buy stuff sometimes or sell stuff because we have to make a living on it, but it is nice just to see people, even if you can't buy, even if you can't make at the moment, come in and hang out. It's all about the community, y'all. We keep saying this, and I think some people don't always believe it, but it is about the community. That's what we're about. That's what we like to see. That's what we like to create. People helping other people, people listening to other people enjoying other people's company. That's worth so much, and it would be worth everything if we didn't have to have money to, this weird thing called money to have a living. Otherwise, we would just hang out with people all day and make stuff. So this is beautiful. Susan says, OMG, that fluorite is gorgeous. I keep showing it to you because I keep finding new little pieces of it that I love. But these are lovely. Y8, $48 a strand. They recommend $58. So if you do buy any of these, keep that in mind because you're buying it from us for $48, but you could easily break that down and make your cost, the $58. I mean, you don't make your cost that, but base your retail off of that. All right, so that was Y8. We're about halfway through now. Ooh, I love these too. Y'all may not like these. I don't know, but I love them. I think they're amazing. Y9, $12 a strand only. $12 a strand. These are faceted agates, and it's like a golden agate or a yellow agate. Look at how beautiful these are. These are 6mm again. A yellow agate, golden agate, whatever you want to call that. It looks like beautiful sunshine to me. I'm not always a yellow person because I think yellow on me doesn't look great, but I love the color. I love the color. So there you go. Beautiful Y9, $12. Y9, $12. And we have, what was it, 3 strands of those available. 3 strands available. Y9, $12 a strand. Again, all these strands, I don't have my ruler here, but I measured them out before. They're all between generally 15 to 16 inches, maybe 14.5. Most of them are 15 to 16 inches though from this vendor. Still at a nice size for a full strand. And again, faceted 6mm rounds in this beautiful yellow or golden agate. And only $12. $12, y'all. That's like a no-brainer. You might need yellow someday. You never know. Y9, $12. Andrew's asking, has anybody here in town tried the new Mexican place in town? Apparently another Mexican place has opened up in town. I would have thought that kind of would have been cornered by the Mexican family, but apparently there's a new one. I don't know if they're a Mexican family or not, but they opened up in town. So is anyone watching, Denise or Susan or Donna, if you've been around, has anyone tried the new Mexican restaurant in town? All right. This is Y10. Sorry, these I'm trying to get. I always like the labels to go in the same way, and I know I'm a little bit wild like that. Diane says I drive past it every day. Nobody's gotten anything? Okay, so these are, let me measure them to make sure. Yep, 6 millimeter, same as before. 6 millimeter citrine, triple A grade citrine, y'all. Triple A grade. Look how beautifully clear a lot of those are. Triple A grade citrine. They recommend $38.80 as a price. We're giving it to you for $30 a strand. Over $8 off of what they suggest we should sell it to you at. So there you go. Who doesn't love citrine? Andrew says, did you hear Wandering Spirits is moving where Song of Sixpence? Yes, I saw that news today. I think they released that today. So I was wondering who was going to move there, and now Wandering Spirits are moving from the second floor above Crumpets down to where Song of Sixpence is. Once Song of Sixpence moves to where the Black Bunny is, once the Black Bunny moves to where Martin's used to be. A lot of hop, skipping, and jumping around. Bonnie says, really pretty citrine. It is. And for $30 a strand, that is a good deal. Norma says, I got that citrine in my Tucson box, the Desert Discoveries, and it is gorgeous. It is. It's lovely. So there you go. Lot Y10, $30. All right, y'all. Here we go. This is a nice shape. If you like shapes in your beads, you're going to love these. We have lot Y11, and I wrote on these so I know which ones I had Y11 on. Y11, we have quatrefoils, faceted quatrefoils. This is tiger eye, beautiful tiger eye. These are only $38 a strand. These should be a lot more than that. These should be like 50 some dollars, y'all. These shaped beads like this, but we got a good deal. So you get a good deal, $38 on these. And on this one, I'm going to show you, I have 3 strands of it available. 3 strands of these. Some of you may have gotten these in your Desert Discoveries. Many of you did not. We didn't have a lot of these. So if you want these, you can grab them. $38 a strand. Susan says that quatrefoil is a cool shape. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And I love how sometimes the sides have that shine for the tiger eye. Sometimes it's the front or back. But beautiful, beautiful quatrefoil tiger eye. 3 strands, $38 per strand. The next lot, the last of these, the last strands for tonight are all the quatrefoil shape in various ones. Andrew says that's a new shape for that vendor. Yeah. Y12 is the quatrefoil in quartz. Let me just give you an idea. These are about around 16 millimeter. Yeah, around 16 millimeter. Full strands, 16 millimeter, $38 a strand for all these quatrefoils. I have 1 strand of this quartz, 1 strand of the quartz left, $38. Now here's one I think a lot of you are going to love, and I only have 1 left. Lot Y13 is lapis. Who doesn't love the lapis? I love the lapis. So these are quatrefoils, faceted quatrefoils. You can see they have little facets on the edges here too. And this beautiful, beautiful blue lapis. $38 a strand, lot Y13. Susan says, I got the quartz quatrefoil in my Desert Discoveries box. It's amazing. Good. I'm glad you got it. I'm glad you love it. It's a new shape, and we put some of these in the Desert Discoveries, but we weren't sure if people were going to love them or not, so we didn't put them all in there. So we have some of these to show you. Y13 lapis, $38 per strand. Lot Y14 is labradorite. Labradorite. Y14 labradorite, 1 strand available, $38. 1 strand available, $38. Beautiful labradorite. In the quatrefoil shape, approximately 16 millimeters. Let me just check these. They should all be about the same. Yes, a little. Some of these are a little bit bigger. Some go to 16, 17, 18 millimeters, somewhere in there. They're not all perfect. They're hand cut. So gorgeous labradorite quatrefoils, Y14, only one of those available. Y14, only one available. Sandra says, the pizza guy was arriving. Did I see lapis? Yes. I don't know if it's claimed already, but Y13, this was Y13, was this lapis. Sandra, I know you got a bunch of lapis. I don't know if you got some of the quatrefoils. I can't remember now. Okay, Y15 is citrine. Y15 is beautiful citrine quatrefoils. Love, love these. Andrew says, maybe pizza for dinner. That actually kind of sounds good right now. Stuff myself with some pizza. Maybe we'll go to our friends at Romans if they're open today. They should be. It's Thursday. I don't know what day it is. So these are beautiful citrine quatrefoils. This is Y15, $38 a strand. Y15, $38 per strand. Only 2 strands, oops, 2 strands available, unless I drop them and lose them all. Okay, Y16, again, $38 a strand. Y16, we have stunning amethyst. I'm going to show you one strand at a time because it's a lot to hold all 3 of these strands. So this is that beautiful light amethyst. Some of it would probably be considered lavender amethyst. It's super light, but stunning, beautiful amethyst. Y16, $38 per strand. We have 3 strands of the amethyst available. 3 strands of the amethyst. Diane says Chris's last day at his job was today, so he went out with the guys from work after, and I got a chicken salad from Forks Inn. Nice. I didn't realize it was his last day. I know he was talking about it, but I didn't realize he made the switch or did something. That's awesome. Hopefully that's an awesome thing. Bonnie says, absolutely love this shape. I know. You don't see it very often, right? You do not see this. This is a new shape for our vendor. Quatrefoils, faceted quatrefoils, coming in around 16 to 18 millimeter. And these strands are generally 14 and a half to 15 or to 16 inches, somewhere in there. And this is Y16, $38 for the amethyst. Sandra says, one can never have too much lapis. I agree. Lapis is one of my very favorite stones. And I blame the Mont Blanc Pen Company for that, because they once made a Ramses II special edition pen that had a lapis top to it, and I never got that pen, y'all. I never got it. But when it came out, it was like $1,300, and I was like 16. And to this day, I don't have it because it's only gone up in price as it's a collector's item. but it had a lapis top. And I remember as a kid thinking that's an amazing thing. And then it all led into, you know, the Egyptians loving lapis and believing that it helps you cross over to the other realm, and they needed lapis in order to do that. All that good stuff. All right, and the last one for tonight, I know it's an odd number, lot Y17, $38, pre-night. And I'm going to show you these one at a time because they're worthy of looking at one at a time. Beautiful pre-night. I think the pre-night is especially lovely. Now, some of these are chipped. We took that into consideration when we were pricing these. Some of them are not chipped, so you get an extra special deal. But we couldn't go any lower than that. It wasn't us. It's the way they came. I have no chips in my bags. But these pre-night are gorgeous. Y17, $38 a strand. Look at that. Look at that. So the last one, Y17, $38, pre-night. Pre-night. Stunning, stunning, stunning stones. All right, y'all. Teresa says that pen's going for $2,400 online. Is that the ballpoint? Or, I mean, the roller ball? Or is that the fountain pen? Because they came in a ballpoint, roller ball, and fountain pen. And usually the fountain pen's the most expensive. The roller ball is in the middle, and then the ballpoint is the cheapest. And I never want the ballpoint because it doesn't have a removable cap. I love removable caps. I don't know. It's a pen thing. Let's see. Let me go back here to this camera, flip this around. Sandra says, I have enough to transport me to another realm, right? Just in case you need to, right? Need to transport yourself somewhere. So that's the show for today, para hoy. And so today we looked at gemstones. If you missed that, rewind or catch it in the rewatch. And we also looked at the design challenge mix coming up for May, which is carnelian, beautiful. And oh yeah, we reviewed some of the things that Andrew talked about yesterday, namely the Global Adventure Kit going to Turkey. So that is it for today. Again, if you're just tuning in or tuned in late, we probably will not be live tomorrow unless we find out that it's going to pour rain for our outside event in North Carolina, and we'll not be going on our trip in that case. But most likely we will not be here tomorrow, but we will try to do some travel logs and some fun stuff along the way, maybe in the car as we're driving down to North Carolina. So yeah, that's it. That's all I've got. So if we don't see you, I mean, we will see you again, probably, but just in case we don't see you during whenever we do the check-ins, we hope you have a great weekend. Otherwise, we'll see you as we check in as we're driving along the road to North Carolina, or at 5 tomorrow if we don't go because of weather. It's all up in the air, y'all. So thank you all for tuning in, and I hope you all have a great weekend. And stay tuned on Saturday. We are going to have our tutorial, a Saturday morning tutorial. We filmed it with Jen yesterday. Thanks to Jen for coming in on that weird day and doing that. And I do have to edit it yet. I didn't do that, but hopefully that's tonight. We'll see. And yeah, that's all I've got for you. So thank you all so very much, and have a wonderful, wonderful weekend if we don't see you again before then. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you grabbed some good stuff. I'm going to go check my emails, and I'm going to try and get those invoices out pretty quickly, probably by tomorrow morning. I'll give some time for people to watch this again and look through stuff, but try and get those emails out to you quick. All right. Thanks so much. Thank you. We love you. Have a great weekend. Bye, everybody.